Hi guys, welcome to the second episode of this series I'm doing about making a cartoon. Little note, I am not going to be doing kind of cuts or editing this time. I need to get better at speaking and not stuttering over my words and that kind of thing, so if it happens, it happens, and I'll just keep working at it and getting better. There's already one. So it's going to be kind of a high-level tech talk today, basically talking about what kind of technology I'm going to be leveraging to make my new animation tools. So first let me talk about what it's not. I'm not going to be doing, I'm not going to be using Flash, which is a pure 2D animation tool. There's some 3D stuff, but not really. I'm also not going to be using a 3D animation tool like any of the Autodesk products or Blender or something like that. And it's because what we're trying to do is we're not trying to, just transform some lines across the screen, and we're not trying to do, 3D simulations. What we're trying to do is emulate the process when a human actually goes and animates. And, when something's in our head, when we're animating a scene, we kind of have these series of, I'm going to try to describe it, series of scenes in our head. I'm using the word scene too much. When you're animating, you kind of have these sequence of scenes in your head, like a guy's walking down the street and then he jumps over a dog or something like that. And it's sort of in 3D, but in the process of imagining it and getting it back on paper, something's lost in translation and things are added. You add visual physics and you're outlining things and you're deciding to add more emphasis to something or other. And that's not really what a 3D animation engine is designed for. So the tool I am going to use is called Unity. It's on version 5.0 now. I'll include a link to it in the description because it's a fantastic piece of technology, and I think it's perfect for what I'm trying to do. So Unity is great because it has 2D and 3D support. But it has a great animation system, like timelines and all that kind of thing that you need that Flash is known for. They've been adding it, and with version 5 it's just amazing now. But because it's so programmer-centric too, it's really great for prototyping and rapid iteration, seeing things in real time, and adding code on the fly. So if you want to try out a new effect, or it's okay, I need to script something up to make this look a little more cartoony, you can just jump in the code, change it real quick, go right in, you don't have to render anything, you can just, pop back into the engine and see how your stuff has changed. It's really great for just doing things quickly, and that's what we need to do. It also has a very moddable graphics pipeline, so if you want to add full screen shader effects or new shaders, or modify how meshes are moving around and stuff, you can just dive right in and do it. The interface is really good. It has really good performance. It's just all around, it's great for something experimental like this. The other piece of technology I'm going to be leveraging is virtual reality, and it's kind of a buzzword lately, but what we're doing is we're trying to, we're kind of trying to give a computer a human's mind-eye, and really useful for debugging something like that is to be able to put on a helmet and actually go inside and see what it's, imagining. And it's one thing looking at it on a monitor, and it's something completely different to actually be able to walk around in 3D space and do that kind of thing. It also gives you great ability, once you're actually getting to animating, to actually tweaking things, because you can do some camera work and storyboards, but then when you're actually watching the thing play out, it'd be great to just go into VR and pick up a virtual camera and kind of look at one character and then zoom over here, and it's oh, I don't like how that camera moves, so let's go and tweak it a little bit. And even with how objects are moving around or how someone's posed, you'd be able to just grab someone's arm or leg and just be okay, let's move it here, rather than trying to, the traditional system of moving solvers, which is, in traditional 3D animation, you might have a visible object out here, and it's okay, the elbow should always point here, so then you move this down, the elbow moves like that, and it'd be a lot easier in VR to just go and, okay, I want the arm in the scene to be over here, and that's the kind of stuff that VR will let you do. And that's really low-hanging fruit for VR. There's some more kind of experimental stuff coming out, like hand tracking and that kind of thing, and stuff that kind of borders on mocap. I have a piece of right here, it's called the Mio or the Mio. It's this. I've ever seen Iron Man 3, it's this kind of armband you put on, and then it's it can kind of track where your arm in general is pointing, and it can detect certain things. It can detect if you're making a fist or if you're twisting your arm. It can't quite do fine finger motion, at least not this version, but I imagine in a couple years we'll be able to do something like that. Now, there's other pieces of technology out there too that are getting to that level. There's a lot of gloves that do visual tracking that can already do this. Especially the new Valve VR system called, there's Vive and Lighthouse, and it's these series of visual trackers they kind of put around your room, and you see I have a pretty big, I have about a 10 foot by 10 foot area, so I could have something like that set up in here. Anyways, like what I was saying about low-hanging fruit is that in some more advanced things, you could have a where it's like, okay, I don't like the way the character's hand looks in the scene. Well, let me put on my VR glove and kind of take control and say, okay, I want the hand to be in this position or in this one, or move the arm like this, and being able to kind of put on the character like a costume and make really fine-tuned adjustments. That's pretty amazing. And not only being able to make adjustments, but because you're in VR, you could be controlling the character and also seeing them from a third-person perspective at the same time. So the possibilities of this are kind of endless. So yeah, I'm really excited about these two pieces of technology. I think put together with some of the animation things I have planned, it's going to it's gonna be really effective. So I think next time I'm going to be talking about just it's not going to be a tech talk next time. It's going to be kind of a design talk of some of the high concept of the series that introduce the characters and that sort of thing and what it's about. So I hope you join me next time. Thanks. Bye.